Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Peterson. I have the distinct honor of serving as the chair of the St. Mary's Board of Trustees. Well, if this had been any other normal year, we would have already had the gala by this time. But as we all know, this isn't any normal year. We find ourselves in the midst of a global pandemic. And although that's changed life quite a bit for most of us, there's some things that don't have the luxury of stopping, taking a time out. One of those things is education. Children still need to go to school, and their window for learning is constantly changing and moving, despite the decisions of any politicians. And St. Mary's understands that, and through an amazing effort of their faculty, staff, and administrators, have throughout this pandemic provided an uninterrupted quality education. That wasn't easy, but as St. Mary's always does, it banded together and made that happen because we understand that education, a quality education, is a bedrock principle, one that we can't compromise on. And all of the St. Mary's community did that. And to continue to provide that, we all have to band together because the simple fact is it is too big of a job for any one person or organization to do. And so, over the next 5 days, you're going to be hearing from St. Mary's staff, educators, and students about the importance of a quality education and how your contributions to St. Mary's have made changes in students' lives that will echo for generations. One of those students is Tomas Hernandez, who you're going to hear from. And you're going to see that through his unbelievable hard work and you providing him a St. Mary's education, he went from a village in Mexico to next fall studying at an Ivy League university.
This isn't how I thought things would play out, not how my senior year would end. I'm Tomas Hernandez Patiño, or Tommy, as my mom sometimes calls me. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in a rural village in Mexico, where I was raised until I was around 8 years old, when we then moved to Oregon, where we now happily reside. And during my first few years in elementary school, I had difficulty just being in the classroom. I didn't know English at the time, so all I could was gibberish to me, and I had to take ESL classes. And while I was taking these ESL classes, my ESL teacher, Miss Luther, saw something in me that I myself didn't see. So she recommended that my family attend a St. Mary's open house and see what we thought of it. After the St. Mary's open house, my family was impressed, and they decided to enroll me at school. But the sticker price was prohibitively expensive had it not been for the generous financial aid that I received. And it was this generous financial aid which gave me the opportunity to attend here. And I grew exponentially well at St. Mary's. I recall arriving in 7th grade and being this small, shy, a little 7th grader who had difficulty making friends. I eventually became friends with a group of nerdy people who were all interested in computers. But the thing was, to me, computers were nothing but a tool at the time, something that I sometimes needed, but nothing more, nothing less. And I recall sitting in the classroom with a student, Carson Grabowski, who is currently my friend. And he wrote a line of code in his computer, something simple that wrote "Hello World," which now that I know programming is the first thing you learn in the first place. But to me, it was something amazing at the time, and it got me curious, so I started dabbling with it, and I just couldn't get enough of it. By the middle of sophomore year, I had finished the whole high school curriculum for programming. So something that always struck me was the type of people that I met at St. Mary's. One of those students, Andrew Burrell, taught me what a high schooler could be. During sophomore year, I got to know him better and learned that he runs his own business, which I thought it was amazing. I had never heard of a high schooler running their own business, and it was like a light bulb moment. Something clicked. It changed the trajectory of what I wanted to be. I started thinking that I could be more than just a programmer, which was my original plan, and thought about how I could, instead of being the programmer, I could be the person who hires the programmers and moves them to a better cause that moves society forward. And it was this change which I attribute to just the fact of being exposed to such a great community of people, which has prepared me to further my education, where I'll be studying business administration at UPenn's Wharton School of Business starting this fall. And again, thank you for the generosity. And I'm deeply thankful that thanks to you, I was able to have a chance at quality education like many other students at St. Mary's. And I hope all of you recognize the opportunity you have to reach out, give, and dramatically change the life of students and their families forever. Thank you.
Thanks, Tomas. And to you, our supporters, thank you for making St. Mary's a reality for him. We're excited to see where the future takes him and what he'll be able to achieve at the Ivy League, University of Pennsylvania in the fall. Congrats, Tomas. It is no doubt that your past gifts to financial aid were a gift and an investment in Tomas's future. So today, I ask you to make a gift to St. Mary's Financial Aid, because when you make a gift to the program, you're making an investment in the youth of our community and giving them the gift of a brighter future.